W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
You're actually listening to the radio station with at least two, if not more, of the top shows in the nation. You heard about us making the Barrett Media list yesterday. Mitch Albom tops the list for afternoon shows today. So happy first place vote to Mitch Albom and his entire team to make that possible. And thanks to you, the best and brightest audience in all of radio, that continue to believe in and support WJR with your time and ears. And in the case of our show now, not only can you stream us or go to do the podcast at WJR.com, or certainly you should have the free WJR app, now WJR Facebook and YouTube pages with video streaming as well. So we're just trying to serve you in every way that we can, and including relentless positive radio while you're on your way to making each and every day count. Because you know, as I do, each day is a gift. We sometimes just need to be reminded. QTR don't know how much quality time remaining we have. By the way, thanks again for choosing to be an important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. And it is Friday!
Yay!
I bet Danielle thought I wasn't going to do that now because I started the show without doing that. But thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. It is Friday, February 13th, which is interesting because today, according to Kim, is Kiss Day. Is that to get us warmed up for tomorrow?
I was going to say, I thought tomorrow would have been Kiss Day.
Tomorrow?
There's 7 days.
Oh, I like the way
leading
you
up
think,
to
Danielle.
Valentine's Day. One of them is Hug Day.
Oh.
Today is Kiss Day. One of them is Flower Day, Propose Day.
Wow.
I'll send it to you. I already looked at it.
You are on top of all of this.
I don't know
Very
why or
good.
how.
Danielle and Kim, if it wasn't for them, we would be hopeless when it comes to holidays, except for
Some
the
of the
major
important-
ones. Yes.
Some of the important holidays in our lives. So tomorrow, Valentine's Day. Today is also Triskaidekaphobia Day, which is a fear of the number 13.
Right. It's a Friday. Is it because it's Friday the 13th, or is
No,
it every
it's
February
just-
13th?
No, it's just 13.
Hmm.
There's another name for fear of Friday the 13th, but I'm not going to try to pretend to pronounce it. It took me years to get Triskaidekaphobia, and I
Right.
thought that was about Friday the 13th. It turns out it's just about the number 13, and why 80% of high-rises don't have a 13th floor. When you look at the elevator, you go, wait a minute. Where's the 13th floor? It
Right.
doesn't exist.
So the 14th floor is actually the 13th floor then.
Well, if you get technical about it,
Yeah.
yes, it is. The number of times I've been in the Fisher Building elevator, I can't remember if we have a 13th or not.
Yeah, because we're one of those buildings where like a certain elevator bank takes you only up
Right.
so high. So yeah, next time I'm in the elevator, because
Please double check.
we have special back employee ways here, so that we're not in the elevator too much. But next time I'm in, because I think this was built, the Fisher Building was built in the 20s, so I would imagine they were superstitious
headlong
back
into
then.
the superstition. I mean,
Right.
I don't think young people today care at all about Friday the 13th being an unlucky day.
Right.
I just don't see it. I don't hear it. I don't hear anyone say, I'm not superstitious. Knock on wood, just in case.
I think Gen Z buildings won't have a floor 6 or 7. That's my guess.
I don't know. Could be 6, 7. I don't know.
You picked up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows what that is? But it is a fear of the number 13, and numerologists, those would be the people who study numbers, which is kind of, what a job. What do you do? I study numbers. No kidding. But they say fear of Friday is 17 to 21 million people affliction. And do you find that hard to believe these days?
It sounds a bit high. Yeah. Fear Friday the 13th is 17 to 21 million people have that fear.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they say some numerologists, the people who study numbers, believe the number 13 is considered unlucky because of its relation to the number 12.
Oh.
Numerologists consider 12 a complete number. 12 months in a year, 12 apostles, 12 tribes of Israel, 12 labors of Hercules, 12 gods of Olympus, 12 hours on a clock. Wow.
And Paul, breaking news, Rich Luzinski just came in here and said the Fisher Building does not have a 13th floor.
Well, that makes sense. Being built when it was built. And you're right, too. It's confusing for us because we've been on the 8th floor, the 21st floor, the 22nd floor since I've been back home at the radio station. In 1996, we have had that many changes of studios and floors.
Wow.
And the old, late, great Ed Buderbaugh, who was a great audio engineer that I met when I was at CKLW for the brief time I was there, and helped us, WJR, get him to cross the border and come over and make WJR's 50,000-watt blowtorch the winner that it is. Anyway, Valentine's Day, there'll be a lot of spending. $29.1 billion, they say. And there's some restaurant. Pizza Hut has a heart-shaped pizza.
Yeah, those are very popular now. I think the first one I saw was Papa Romano's back in the 90s.
Jet's
there's
Pizza
plenty
also has heart-shaped pizza.
Jets,
Yep.
love Jets. TGI Fridays has a $50 Valentine's meal for two. Even White Castle has a Love Castle experience for Valentine's Day.
Weren't they marrying people at their restaurants on Valentine's Day for a while?
Nothing would surprise me.
Yeah.
Because White Castle reminds me of a wedding chapel in Las Vegas.
Right. It does. You think Elvis is up there flipping burgers and marrying people.
Well, and he very well may be. Let's see here. A couple of things. It's a little thing about Verlander coming back on the front page of the Detroit News. Just the usual. We're trying to do relentless positive radio, doing the best that we can. How about this? If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you.
And you'll never forget Kiss Day.
You'll never forget Kiss Day. And you're lucky that your birthday isn't tomorrow, so that when somebody gives you a gift, they go, oh, happy Valentine's Day and happy birthday. It's like, my cousin Michael, may he rest in peace. His birthday was on Christmas Day. What a ripoff.
Yeah.
Ripoff. It was sad.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday today to you. And tomorrow, you celebrate with Ellen Humany, our good friend. Remember Ron Humany, who retired, used to do a little business thing at 10 minutes after 8 every day when we were on the morning show. But it's his lovely wife, Ellen's birthday today, Ellen Humany. Give her a call. And Bill Young's lovely bride, Vivian Young. Bill Young, Apso Pure, Plastipack Packaging. My good friend Bill Young, his lovely wife, Vivian Young, is celebrating her birthday tomorrow as well, again, on Valentine's Day. Stream us, podcast us on WJR.com. Get the free WJR app. Watch us now on our WJR Facebook and YouTube pages with our video streaming. We've got a lot going on this lucky Friday the 13th. Paul W. Smith in Focus on WJR.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. When you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy saving programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford Health. And with us today is Mary Jane Boat, Executive Vice President and Chief Development Officer. Mary Jane, how's Rising Above, Reaching Beyond, the campaign for Henry Ford Health, going?
It's great. Last year, we publicly launched the largest fundraising campaign in our system's history, with the goal to raise $750 million by the end of 2027. To date, we've raised over $620 million, which is 83% of our goal.
That's incredible. And like others, I didn't realize that Henry Ford Health is a nonprofit.
We sure are. As a nonprofit healthcare system, philanthropy is the difference maker and our margin for innovation that enables exceptional patient-centered care, leading-edge research, and broad community impact. It truly makes all of this possible.
That's great. Can you share an example?
I could share 100 for thousands of our annual donors who rallied together for initiatives like Game on Cancer. This campaign has provided over $10 million in financial assistance to patients who are experiencing financial hardships during their cancer journey. Another example is the $2 million donor that enabled the purchase of the ultrasound, improving care for our patients experiencing movement disorders, which has dramatically improved their quality of life. Our generous donor community includes industry leaders, foundations, grateful patients, as well as our own team members and physicians. All of our donors contribute to things that are meaningful to them while also making a huge difference in the lives of our patients.
To make your gift, visit henryford.com/above and beyond.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
WJR welcomes Rodgers and Hammerstein's The Sound of Music to the historic Fox Theater March 5th through the 8th. Three-time Tony Award winner Jack O'Brien stars in this production, promising a sophisticated take on the classic. You could win tickets from WJR. Text keyword Maria to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by 313 Presents. Official rules at WJR.com. Tickets available for purchase at Ticketmaster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by PM Technologies. Is your generator ready for winter? Cold weather kills batteries fast. Your home standby generator needs maintenance once a year to stay reliable. Let PM Technologies handle your routine service and emergency repairs. Visit pmtech.org. That's pmtech.org to schedule your generator service today. We've got an accident blocking your right lane on the Lodge southbound at the Davison. Still have that wreck on Monroe Street at Outer Drive. And your roadway reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound between I-75 and Losser. That's causing slow traffic from DeQuinder. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
We are going dry here over the next several days, right through the holiday weekend, if it is a holiday for you. Low pressure is going to pass well south. Should keep precip well south. I was looking afternoon for the commute. Sunshine, 35. Tonight, 25 clear. Suburbs colder. Saturday, sunshine, 38. 41. On Sunday, partly sunny, and near 40 again on President's Day, Monday, and partly sunny. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Weekday mornings, it's veteran storyteller and award-winning journalist Kevin Dietz, breaking down the headlines Michiganders are talking about. Kevin talks, and then you talk on All Talk, 9 a.m. to noon on 760 WJR.
That's funny. I haven't heard that music before. It's a spectacular, what we call bumper music. That's what I think what we call it still. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Jared Halpern is with us, Fox News correspondent, WJR contributor extraordinaire. And with the foolishness in Washington, and there's so much of it, we don't know how close we are to a funding deal. I also want to ask Jared about President Trump repealing greenhouse gas findings and repealing greenhouse gas, not findings, laws, whatever. I'll find the right word here. But it has the president saying that this is going to mean that we can buy cars for $2,400 less after he scraps the Democratic rules. That I think we're still talking about the same thing. But I know Jared Halpern will help me understand it all. Jared, welcome back.
Yeah, what the EPA did was rescinded what is known as the endangerment finding. This was a 2009 finding during the Obama administration that used scientific research to say that greenhouse gas emissions are a public health harm and pose a public health risk. That then became the legal underpinnings for a host of emission standards and climate-based rules that automakers had to follow. That industry has long complained about some of these regulations, and yesterday the EPA rescinded that endangerment finding. President Trump calling it a giant scam that was a ripoff to the country, to the American people. He said that this radical rule became the legal foundation for the greatest scam in history, and says that no industry will benefit more from this deregulation campaign than the U.S. auto industry. You're right. The idea, the president says, will bring down the cost of an automobile by about $2,400 because automakers are not beholden to include certain emission standards to these new vehicles. He says that it will bring down compliance costs for companies across the board by about $1 trillion or more every year. Now, it's not necessarily a done deal. This is going to face legal challenges. The American Lung Association, environmental groups, some Democratic governors have already signaled that they intend to file a lawsuit saying that this 2009 declaration was rooted in science and was rooted in law, and that the EPA cannot just rescind it. So it may not be the final word on it, but on its face, the president is right when he described it as the largest single act of deregulation in the country's history.
And this, as you just explained it so brilliantly, Jared Halpern, this just is going to cause a little bit of confusion right on the firing line, the front line of for the auto dealers, because people are going to come in now and they're going to misunderstand this, and they're going to say, well, all right, well, I see the sticker on there right now, but we know now that should be $2,400 less, and that's not the case.
At least for a new car. And so, yeah, there is going to be some ramp up time because automakers are going to have to kind of understand these new standards, what is allowed, what isn't allowed. And that will be then, I guess, priced into kind of cars that roll off the lot, so to speak. But it's not going to be instant. And as I said, it's entirely possible that you could see court kind of put all of this on hold. And so there will be, I imagine, at least a level of confusion or uncertainty in the short term. But the administration believes that it is on solid legal footing, that it was actually the declaration back in 2009 that was on bad legal footing, and that they will withstand these challenges, and this will move forward, certainly beyond President Trump's presidency. Now, there are also those in Congress that are now going to seek to codify this in law, right? The EPA administrator yesterday, Lee Zeldin, sort of signaled as much, right? He said that it should be Congress, not these agencies like the EPA, that write these rules and regulations. He said if Congress wants to get involved, more power to them, but they haven't, and that the understanding that this administration has of the Clean Air Act and other types of federal legislation on the books does not go as far as to allow things like this 2009 declaration.
So, summed up, as Jared has helped us, again, brilliantly understand, President Trump yesterday rescinded the 2009 EPA endangerment rule that allowed Presidents Obama and Biden to levy a number of costly emission standards and other rules on automakers. The President Trump, said the change would allow companies to make cars cheaper and pass on the savings to us, to customers. Front page of the New York Post, cars will cost $2,400 less after DEM rules are scrapped. Yeah. It has a picture of the president, and it says, "Man on emission."
I don't know. I know the White House team for the New York Post really well here. Don't know their headline writers, but they're fantastic, aren't they?
It's a job in itself, and it's probably a tough one to get because they all do. They do a great job.
Well, wasn't there that famous one? That famous one from the 1970s, "Headless Man Found in Topless Bar"? That's the real famous one from the 1970s.
I just brought that up. I just brought that up the other day, and some people wrote to me had never heard that one, and they couldn't stop laughing.
I think I learned about it. I think I learned about it in J school back in the day. Like it's legendary. I mean, there's textbooks written about that headline.
Yes. You're absolutely right. All right, before we run out of time here, so how close are we to funding a deal? You know, people who don't like ICE and all of that, and they're misguided and they don't understand. But what they have to understand is if you don't get that budget, other than the big, beautiful bill that apparently has $75 billion approved by Congress to keep some of these things still going, we're asking for trouble with TSA, the Coast Guard, a whole bunch of areas if we screw up.
I think it's unclear how long it's going to take here to get a deal. I mean, it's certainly going to be a while because Congress is out for the next couple of weeks. And so you're right. This is a small shutdown kind of on paper. It's something like 4% of the federal budget or the federal government, but it includes TSA. There are already airlines that are concerned that this is going to cause delays if you have TSA agents not showing up. Remember those long lines from the shutdown last year. Right. It risks members of the Coast Guard, members of federal agencies not getting paid. But, you know, there at least are papers and discussions still happening. I think that's the good news. So you have Democrats who would like to see some reforms to ICE and Border Patrol over how they have to identify themselves, over oversight of some of these warrants and enforcement activities. You have Republicans who want that coupled with new limits in federal rules over sanctuary policies and sanctuary cities. If they can find an agreement in kind of a sweet spot on those two competing elements, perhaps they can move forward. But it certainly is not something that we expect to happen here over the next week or two.
Very personal question, Jared. You do not have to answer it, but do you have any special plans for tomorrow, Valentine's Day?
My wife's usually in charge of that.
Spoken like a true husband.
It was the wrong answer, I know.
It's probably the wrong answer, but
it is definitely the wrong answer, but it was the truthful answer.
And we aim for honesty here, and I expect nothing less. Thank you, Jared.
Yes.
Might I suggest you have some time to do something?
I'll try and
I'm reminding myself. Right. I'm reminding myself as well.
This is good advice for everybody listening. Yeah.
Jared Halpern, Fox News correspondent and excellent WJR contributor. Thank you, Jared. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
We continue In Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR as we approach 12:29. And welcome Automotive Views, brought to you by Bridgestone. No matter what the next generation of mobility will be, it will be on wheels, and Bridgestone will be there. David Coletti and Team Bridgestone. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Here's Mike Martinez.
Ford executives are projecting confidence in a strong 2026 after a turbulent year led to major losses. Most analysts are bullish on the company, but it's worth noting how historically bad 2025's financials actually were. Ford lost $8.2 billion last year. The only other time it lost more than that was in 2006 and 2008, in the depths of the Great Recession. The $11.1 billion Ford lost from October to December marked its worst ever quarterly performance, according to the Wall Street Journal. Do the math. That means it lost almost $85,000 per minute. Much of that was due to a one-time write-down on failed electric vehicle investments, although President Trump's tariffs cost Ford $2 billion, and an unexpected supplier fire cost another $2 billion. It's easy to argue most of those factors were largely out of Ford's control. Even so, 2025 will go down as a year the automaker will want to forget. With this week's Automotive View, I'm Mike Martinez with Automotive News.
People say we should live in the present, but that doesn't mean we can't drive toward a brighter future. That's why Bridgestone is focused on positively impacting the next generation by developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. Because getting people down the road matters, but getting future generations down the road, that's what really matters. Bridgestone. Solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
Hockey fans love the fast-paced action, but not the big league price? Check out Team USA Hockey. Get more excitement and more hockey for less. This Saturday, score big with 2 tickets for just $30 when Team USA hosts Dubuque. Score 2 for 30 tickets at USAHockeyNTDP.com.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
I'm Joe Vaccari, president and CEO of the Joe Vaccari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. With the addition of Tryon, our general managers don't have to spend hours doing paperwork and putting people in our system. All that's done by Tryon now, so they can work on what they are there to do, take care of our customers. That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
February is American Heart Month, and you can have the power to save a life. Gardner White, Henry Ford Health, and the American Heart Association are teaming up to offer free, hands-only CPR and AED training sessions. Join them Tuesday, February 17th at Gardner White in Rochester Hills. 30-minute sessions will be led by certified experts and open to anyone 12 years of age and older. Space is limited. Register for your time slot today at GardnerWhite.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Metro Detroit, you know the voices that keep our region moving. From the morning headlines to your drive home, 760 WJR is always in your corner. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Help us crown the best in the biz. We're asking for your vote for Paul W. Smith and Ryan Ermani in Our Magazine's Best of Detroit 2026. Whether it's Paul's legendary insight on Focus or Ryan's unfiltered energy on JR Afternoon, they bring the stories that matter most to Michigan. Head to OurDetroit.com and cast your ballot today. Let's show the D why WJR is the great voice of the Great Lakes. That's OurDetroit.com. Vote now.
You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
That's very kind of Mark and Ann and whoever put together that little promo for our Detroit. And Ryan and I are in the running there. You can vote for both of us. I hope you will at ourdetroit.com. I also put on my Paul W. Sminsta Instagram account, Paul W. Sminsta, the notification we got yesterday that we're one of the top midday talk shows in the country. Out of the entire country, we're one of the top. And Mitch Albom today announced as the top. So you're, I'm sorry, the morning show, say it on the air. Don't say it just in my head.
Oh, okay. Morning show is either 13 or 16. I'll have to double check. So we're all very well represented.
Oh, good. When did that come out? I didn't see it.
That was the first day. So.
Geez, we're not making a very big deal out of this, and we should, because that means that at least three of our shows are top 20 in the entire country. That's going up against the big bullies in New York and Los Angeles and all those other places with greater resources. But
I think we're cooking a little something up, but we'll see.
All right, and we'll see if we get something going with that. All right, enough of this already. I got too many things happening at once. I mean, what do I do with this one? RFK Jr. admits he used to snort cocaine off toilet seats. I don't even know where to go with that. I'm not going anywhere right now. Maybe a little later we'll talk about it. But here's where we are going. Steve Dolan, the unvarnished truth as he sees it, retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief. The topic, ICE pulling all troops out of Minnesota, and the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie. Steve, always a pleasure, my friend. Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you for not putting me with the toilet seat. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know what to
do
with
that story. What a story
that
is. You got to love it.
I got the headline, and I just don't know what to do with that. But be that as it may.
Anyway, go ahead.
You more than anyone, but you and I both support our police at all times. It's we go with the police first, and then if sadly we find out they happen to do something wrong, which is very rare, but if they did, then we stand up and say they did something wrong. And frankly, given the fact that this president has kicked out fewer illegals than the last several presidents by millions, I just have to say that ICE approached what they've been doing wrong. I think coming in and looking like stormtroopers was not the right way to go. And I think that's being proven by the way people are reacting to them when they're just doing their job. It's just that they did it a little, in many cases, heavy-handed. Plus, they were going up against people who were being told in Minneapolis by their governor and by their mayor to fight these people because their governor and their mayor are idiots. And they told them to fight these people. And we saw what has happened because of that. And besides that, not letting the local police help ICE do their job. Anyway, your thoughts, Steve, on ICE pulling all the troops out of Minnesota?
I think they did go in heavy-handed, overly aggressive. If they just targeted like violent criminals to start with, I don't think there would have been this problem. They did kind of come off as stormtroopers. Unfortunately, they were over-aggressive. They should have used body cams from the get-go, in my opinion. I've watched local police and state police. And again, we have deported less, but like Holman said, let's go after targets, violent criminals, not just anybody. And it backfired. Trump, to his credit, said, you know what, we made some mistakes there. We're going to pull out now. We did what we had to do. We made some mistakes. We learned from our mistakes. We move on. Now is the perfect time, actually, now that we're pulling out of Minnesota, to make a deal with Carney and Canada and say, here, we'll give you Minnesota. You give us Alberta or Saskatchewan. We'll take the natural resources. You get all this crap, and we're good. And they can have Minnesota. That's where I'm at. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, it's an interesting observation.
Didn't I? I mean, it's a socialist state anyway.
I will say this. Say that again. What was that?
It's a socialist state anyway. They want socialized medicine. So give us the natural resources. We'll make you trade. Look how much money we'd save. I'm just throwing it out there from law enforcement perspective. But anyway, we screwed up.
You know that's not going to happen. But be that as it
I know that, but we
have to look at. We're pulling back, and nobody can deny there's been success. There have been thousands of arrests. They've really, when they've been allowed to do their job and not get involved in all this other stuff, they did a pretty good job of what they set out to do. So I just wanted to make that very clear.
Tide. They did a really good job. Again, tactics weren't the best, but they got their point across, and that was the point.
Steve Dolan with us. Retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief. He just tells it like he sees it. We now have the FBI describing the suspect in the Nancy Guthrie case. They say that it's male, about 5'9", 5'10", average build. In the video, he's wearing a black 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker backpack. The FBI posted on Facebook yesterday. And they said, we hope this updated description will help concentrate the public tips we're receiving. I wanted to ask a question that really bothered me, and I don't have any idea if it is true or not. And that is, and maybe it's made up by social media, there's word out there that says the local sheriff has not been working well with the FBI. I can't believe that's the case. There's nothing in it for him or his department to not work with the feds. So do you think that's just what happens when it all opens up to social media and all those people are weighing in and giving us information that could be very, very incorrect?
Actually, I have a cousin who's a retired sheriff from Pima County, and he said that the sheriff hasn't been the most forthcoming. And then he dropped the ball, and now he's trying to save face and do what he can. But with the FBI coming in and the technology, he needs them. Check your ego at the door and let them do their thing. And now they have this backpack. Every product has a barcode, correct? So all you do with technology is find who's selling those backpacks in Tucson area, work back from there. I think he needs to work
Walmart,
with the FBI. Yep, right.
Of course.
So
he does. You heard from your cousin, who's a sheriff deputy, that the sheriff has not been forthcoming and working well with the FBI?
He feels, this is what I'm told, he feels that people are judging him, that he may have dropped the ball at the beginning. And I try to prove to them that he's the guy and he can solve the case on his own. Because didn't they make the traffic stop, not the FBI, on that detained person? It was Pima County. It wasn't FBI.
Steve, but you and I both know that the sheriff dropped the ball from the beginning.
God, yes.
Dropped the ball big time from the beginning. And there's nothing he can do to take away that fact. No. But what will help everybody is if they all work together and find this poor woman, which we think is most unlikely, but that would all sins would be forgiven afterwards. But in the middle of this, you work with everybody who's willing to work with you, especially somebody as good as the FBI.
You would think, but sometimes people's ego. Look at the guy in Uvalde. He wouldn't take any responsibility for it. So this sheriff is probably in over his head, no doubt. He dropped the ball.
Over his head, no question, right?
It is. It is what it is. But take these resources, work together, be open on both sides. And I think they are. I think the FBI is being very open. This is what we got, put it out there. Maybe they feel slighted in the county sheriff's office, but you don't have the resources, and the FBI does.
No, so and everybody understands that and accepts that.
Yeah.
Steve Dolan, retired Detroit Police Chief Extraordinaire. Always a pleasure to have you air your thoughts on our program.
Congratulations on your rating, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the station's doing very well.
Huge.
We have the top talent morning, midday, and afternoon. And we're thrilled to be able to, after all these years, serving our listeners, our public, to continue the excellence that people may be missing at other radio properties throughout the country. So we feel pretty good about it. Hey, have a great weekend. I hope you have fun for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. We always try to give that number. You never know who sees something, knows something. People are traveling all the time. Thank you, Steve.
Have a good one. Take care.
You too. 1244 WJR.
After years of diving into the ups and downs of retirement planning, we've decided to change the name of our show, Expedition Retirement. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Saturdays at 3 and Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
WJR welcomes Rodgers and Hammerstein's The Sound of Music to the historic Fox Theater March 5th through the 8th. Three-time Tony Award winner Jack O'Brien stars in this production, promising a sophisticated take on the classic. You could win tickets from WJR. Text keyword Maria to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by 313 Presents. Official rules at WJR.com. Tickets available for purchase at Ticketmaster.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com. When Michigan's underground systems fail, everyone feels it. Old water and stormwater pipes mean flooded streets, dirty water, and damaged roads. These systems protect our homes, our schools, and the places we work, but many were built generations ago and can't keep up today. If we don't fix what's underground, we risk what's above ground. Safety, jobs, and our future. A strong Michigan depends on strong infrastructure, starting below the surface. It's time to invest before small problems become big disasters. Learn more by visiting thinkmida.org.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app. Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hockey fans love the fast-paced action, but not the big league price? Check out Team USA Hockey. Get more excitement and more hockey for less. This Saturday, score big with 2 tickets for just $30 when Team USA hosts Dubuque. Score 2 for 30 tickets at USAHockeyNTDP.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by NECA, IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58, skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. That accident on the Lodge southbound at the Davison is cleared. Your left lane closed for repairs on 4th Street southbound between Rosa Parks Boulevard and 18th Street. That's until April 17th. And your roadways reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound between I-75 and Losser. That's causing slow traffic from DeQuinder. Oh, we just picked up a wreck on the Davison eastbound off-ramp to I-75 as well. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, all working out as I expected. Mostly sunny, should work. Might see a few clouds, 35. Tonight, mainly clear, 25. So a little chilly for your Friday night out. Weekend will start sunny, 38 on Saturday, and then closer to 40 or just above for Sunday and Monday. Partly sunny on Sunday. And Monday, the holiday, if you've got off, partly sunny. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, we've got some fun going on at Meadowbrook Theater until March 8th. It's a show called What the Constitution Means to Me, and the Meadowbrook Theater artistic director, who also happens to be directing this play, says, "What the Constitution Means to Me is one of the most meaningful plays I've ever seen." Well, we're going to have a chance to go and see it at the Meadowbrook Theater. You can go online to Ticketmaster.com. You can go to the Meadowbrook Theater box office. You can call them at 248-377-3300. But you can only hear two of the stars right here with Paul W. Smith in Focus. A pleasure to welcome the two stars, both playing Heidi, Cheryl Tersky and Danny Cochran. Ladies, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, the first question I have, and I asked my producer who booked this, I said, are they little kids? Because oftentimes when it's a little kid who's a star, they put two people playing the role and they alternate. How did it come about that two adults would alternate in this What the Constitution Means to Me? Is there a lot of heavy lifting?
I would say so. It's not a one-woman show, but it's essentially a large portion of a one-woman show. So it is a very heavy lift. And I think that, and especially in these days of, people get sick, things like that. Now you have two people who are completely prepared for this role and can heavy lift this play. And I'll say, because it's so deeply personal, it's really nice to alternate and have some time away from it.
Have you, they're both playing Heidi in What the Constitution Means to Me at the Meadowbrook Theater until March 8th. Sounds fascinating. So I'm going to ask Cheryl first. Have you learned anything from watching Danny? Or have you ever suggested something to Danny? And then, Danny, I'll ask you the same question. But Cheryl?
Oh, my gosh. It's been a total joy to have someone else to watch who's also so engaged in the material, and thank God is this really brilliant actor. And so I'm stealing stuff from Danny all the time. And fortunately, we're really good friends. And so we actually just we'll talk about it. Like, oh gosh, I really loved what you did in this moment. I noticed that really lands in a better way than how I was doing it. And I'm gonna do it. Is that okay? And Danny's always been like, oh my gosh, yes, take it. It's honestly, I've never gotten a chance to do something like this, and it has been a total joy.
And Danny, for you?
I completely agree. I think especially this story being so fiercely female forward, having another just brilliant woman in the room to bounce all of these ideas off of has only amplified the production and what's going on stage. And yes, Cheryl is hilarious, and we have different types of humor, so it's really fun to then go, ooh, I didn't think of that. I'm gonna take that and sort of find this amalgamation of who we are together, and then putting that into Heidi separately has been just fantastic.
I think I grew up in the theater, and I never had an opportunity like that to see someone else playing the same role that I was playing, and to be able to learn a little something, what to do, what not to do. I think it's kind of interesting for sure. And since the character you both play, Heidi, is so important, you're right. If somebody got sick, got the flu, got whatever, the show couldn't go on without somebody stepping in. So you have the two of you. Now I'll go to you, Cheryl, again, to tell me what the Constitution Means to Me is all about, if you could summarize that.
So this woman, Heidi Schreck, wrote about some very deep personal stories of hers and how they relate to her high school experience of traveling around the country, giving speeches about the Constitution at American Legion halls to win prize money to go to college. And she found that high school experience really poignant as she grew up and sort of influenced her perspective on some pretty interesting family history. So yes, there's quite a bit about the Constitution, but ultimately it's this very beautiful personal story of Heidi's.
And it's got to be especially interesting to you as an associate theater professor at Wayne State University, moving to Michigan from Chicago in 2011, and realizing what this young girl, what Heidi Schreck did. I am reminded she was 15 when she did all of this and wrote this.
Not when she originally wrote the play, but she was 15 when she competed in this contest about giving speeches. And she sort of resurrects her speech from when she was 15. And gosh, she was so competitive and brilliant and confident, you know. And I was sort of thinking about when I was in high school, and I had some of those qualities, but maybe not quite as much as this woman had. And it's been really fun to kind of go back and kind of channel your high school self, but then also let it really land with, I'm in my mid-40s, so this mid-40s woman that I've become.
And for you, Danny Cochran, you're a Detroit-based actor, director, voiceover artist, audiobook narrator. You've done a lot of national television like Chicago Fire and some other work. It's got to be a lot of fun for you because, first of all, you're both, from what I'm told, very well known by Meadowbrook Theater audiences, and that's got to make you feel pretty good to come back to that, Danny.
I mean, it is just a huge honor to be entrusted with this story, the magnitude of this part. It's, sort of been in the back of my bucket list to take on a project like this where it is such a heavy lift. And so to do it for the Meadowbrook audiences who I have just become a part of the Meadowbrook family and love their audiences it's really a dream come true.
Would you say, first Cheryl, then Danny, Cheryl, that you learned things about our Constitution that you never really had thought of very much before doing this?
Oh my gosh, without question. And I think even more importantly, we do play some snippets of actual Supreme Court hearings. And I also learned just how important it is to think about who is interpreting the Constitution as well. And that's something I didn't put as much thought into until I started doing this show.
Yeah, that makes sense. Danny, how about you?
I would completely agree. There's so much I've learned, and not only about the Constitution, but because it's in the context of sort of these generations of women in her family, just historically speaking, laws, that center or don't center women in this country throughout, centuries has been really sort of fascinating to learn that we think we know, but we don't know the nitty-gritty of. So it's been very educational.
Sounds like a winner, and I wish you both break a leg, as we say in show business. What the Constitution means to me. Tickets range from $40 to $48, available by calling the Meadowbrook Theater box office, 248-377-3300, 248-377-3300. Go online, Ticketmaster.com. They've got student discounts. They've got group discounts. Just get there before March 8th. Thank you, ladies, and have fun.
Thank you.
We continue. Thank you. We continue in Focus on WJR.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to newsmaxplus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to newsmaxplus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Valentine's month, and there's nothing Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute loves more than helping people heal their back, neck, and knee pain without surgery. It's been his mission since high school when a severe back injury left him barely able to move. Dr. Kogan has helped thousands of patients, well, like me and my wife Kim, with his exclusive, non-invasive, non-surgical intradisc neutrosis and Knee Restore RX treatments with no side effects, by the way. They target the root cause of painful back, neck, and knee conditions, activating the body's built-in process for self-repair. Dr. Kogan loves helping people so much that during February, the month of love, the first 50 callers mentioning WJR will get 50% off their treatment plan. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Clinton Township, Farmington, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC. Mention WJR, 586-416-3472.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
President Trump says he was not surprised. Lisa Brady, Fox News, after an encouraging report on inflation.
We had the worst inflation in the history of our country, and now we have very modest inflation, which is what you want to have.
The core rate of inflation falling to a nearly 5-year low last month. Consumer prices overall at 2.4% compared to a year ago, down from 2.7 in December, fueled in part by falling gas prices. Democrats in Congress still slammed the president's economic policies, arguing he's making life less affordable. The president not ruling out a deal with Democrats to end a Homeland Security shutdown set to kick in tonight when current funding ends. But he also says law enforcement must be protected.
Our great police and ICE and Border Patrol and everybody. I'm here to protect them because they're protecting us. And the job they've done is incredible.
Democrats want changes in immigration enforcement. Republicans say ICE is already funded through a bill from last year and that a partial shutdown will hurt other agencies, including the TSA. The president taking questions as he heads to Fort Bragg to thank troops involved in the recent capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Now he's sending a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East as the U.S. and Iran hold nuclear talks.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it. If we don't have a deal, we'll need it. If we have a deal, we could cut it short.
Also just telling reporters he thinks negotiations will be successful, but if not, it'll be a bad day for Iran. A masked man caught on surveillance footage at Nancy Guthrie's front door 13 days ago in Arizona is now called a suspect.
The FBI describing him as approximately 5'9", 5'10", with an average build. Forensic analysis on this door cam video from Nancy Guthrie's home was critical to helping investigators begin to close in on a description.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Tucson, where the FBI reward in the case has doubled to $100,000. America is listening to Fox News.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. 100% bonus depreciation is back. Qualifying assets placed in service after January 19th, 2025 can now be fully expensed in the first year. This means immediate tax savings for businesses. Consult with your CPA to see if 100% bonus depreciation is the best strategy for you. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
Be sure to start every Sunday at 8 a.m. with JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. Great interviews and conversations all in one place on JR Sunday with Mark Hollis, sponsored by Tryon, your payroll and HR solution. To learn more and to reach out to Tryon, go to RelyOnTryon.com. Catch From Glory Days, Veterans Edition, sponsored by VetLife, every Sunday at 6 a.m. Inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life. More Glory Days Veterans Editions every Sunday at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
This is Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Welcome into hour 2 of Focus here on News Talk 760 WJR. We certainly appreciate you setting time aside to be with us from noon to 2, Monday through Friday. If you can't, you can come back to the show, podcast it. Takes less than like an hour and 10 minutes, really, to hear the whole show at WJR.com at your convenience. Of course, while we're on live, you can listen at 760 on the AM dial or stream us from anywhere in the country or the world for that matter, WJR.com. Don't forget to get the free WJR app and add it to your phone. And now we have added our Facebook and YouTube pages, the WJR Facebook and YouTube pages, for live video streaming. Now, wait, you explained something to me about this, Mike Parsons. Mike is our executive producer, Danielle Mason, the queen of the switches, Rich Luzinski, WJR Traffic and Weather First. You said something that I'm not sure I remember exactly, but after the show ends, they can still watch the show? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, once I hit end stream, there's about 2-3 minutes of processing, and then the show is ready to go for you to hit play and either relive the magic all over again or watch it for the first time if you didn't get a chance.
I like that. Relive the magic all over again. Now, so how long does that stay up?
Forever.
To the next show? Oh, forever.
Yeah, forever. And then, but probably the easiest way to find it is just going to the WJR YouTube page, because it archives on both the Facebook and YouTube page, and it stays there indefinitely.
All right. Very good. A quick note. This caught my attention. Maybe it will yours too. We haven't heard of too many women getting pressure or being forced out of their jobs because of a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
But there is one, and she's a biggie. Catherine Rumeyer has resigned from her position as Goldman Sachs' top lawyer after emails revealed her close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Wow.
Is that bizarre?
Yeah, and you wonder if she just resigned because his name is so toxic that if you're associated with him at all, you're slimed, or if she was, there's going to be allegations coming out against her as well.
Well, there are allegations that he gave her a lot of very high-end presents, gifts, and it's said in that world of the Goldman Sachs's and such, as an attorney for the company, she should not have been accepting any big deal gifts from anybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let alone from a slime bag monster.
Right. Yeah. So it sounded like it was some misconduct anyway, but the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is attached to it just makes it worse.
You know, on to another topic. Podcasts are going to be I'm not going to make a prediction, but I don't think this would be happening anywhere else but on a podcast. And indeed, on a podcast, RFK Jr. admitted he used to snort cocaine off toilet seats. Is that the value of podcasts, that you can't get on normal broadcasting?
How did that come up in conversation?
How would that possibly come up? Tell me, RFK Jr., Secretary, is there anything unusual you've done with a toilet seat? I mean, I admit I would not have asked that question on the radio.
What's your favorite place to snort cocaine?
It is really Theo Von. So if you know anything about Theo Von, he used to be a drug addict. He used to be into drugs and alcohol. Now he is clean. So a part of his podcast is he brings these people in, and the conversation eventually does go to that focus. their relationship with drugs or like how they got over it, how they became sober, because RFK, he is open about him at one point being a drug addict. So
And does he go to meetings still?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I know
All
that
right.
Theo Vaughn does, but I don't
Yeah.
know about RFK.
All right. You know a lot about these unusual things.
Yeah,
Danielle.
I like
That's-
the social issues.
All right. Well, that's certainly a social issue. I wonder if he used the toilet seat liners first. But anyway.
A little more sanitary.
No, I don't care about any of these. None of that. Okay, let's look at our well, you know that it comes up again. You sent this to me. Let me just bring this up. There's the talk of the Arizona sheriff not working with the FBI. That's just, if that turns out to be the case, this is listed in The Nation. Arizona sheriff blocks FBI access to evidence in Nancy Guthrie abduction, according to sources. If their sources are social media, shame on them. And if they're not, shame on the sheriff. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that. I'm done with it. But it's crazy.
I mean, you should be using whatever means necessary, and whoever is best suited to help crack the case. It shouldn't matter who gets credit. If Steve Dolan says that there might be a little truth to that, I tend to believe it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just imagine, you're trying to find your 84-year-old mother, and there's a possibility that the sheriff is hindering the investigation for whatever reason, to save face or feed his ego or whatever.
They're going to want to be done with this when it's done. But, man, there's all kinds of room for lawsuits.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For dereliction of duty in this whole thing. But, again, we'll talk about it when we have to. It's Friday the 13th. And I always thought that triskaidekaphobia meant you were afraid of Friday the 13th. That's not true. As I'm reminded, triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13.
Right.
And Rich was kind enough to go out with his camera, his phone, and took a picture of the elevator panel in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. And as we guessed, there is no 13th floor, which is not that unusual, because this is a superstition that dates back centuries. And nobody really knows for sure. They say origins in early European folk traditions, in Christianity, that according to history.com. But there you have it. And we're going to have three Friday the 13th. That's unusual. Usually it's maybe two.
Yeah, I think two is a lot. So if we're having three,
one March 13th and one in November.
Oh, wow. So I don't know if I've ever seen back-to-back months with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I don't know either. So some people mark this day wearing clothes inside out. That would tell you something's going on.
Right.
Knocking on wood or a reasonable facsimile. Breaking clear, uncolored glass. Avoiding cracks in the sidewalk, and carrying an acorn in their pocket. Okay.
Wow.
That's that. Let's see. What else real quick? A judge orders mental health treatment for Metro Airport crash driver. That's been a quiet story since it happened, but they're now starting to talk about pressing charges. And here we are talking about, obviously, there's a mental health issue, but it's unclear if he's currently hospitalized or receiving outpatient care.
Yeah, the video of him. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said the video of him crashing into Metro Airport, being taken out of the car. He's screaming and ranting and raving. So probably was some kind of mental health episode.
And so here we go again, and we talked about this yesterday, but I'll talk about it again because it deserves to be talked about. The member of the U.S. Olympic ice dance team that settled for a controversial silver medal is calling for tighter controls on judges, while some fans are convinced the Michigan natives deserve to win gold. Madison Chalk telling CBS News it's, quote, important for the skaters that the judges be vetted and reviewed to make sure that they are also putting out their best performance, because there's a lot on the line for the skaters when they're out there giving it their all. And we deserve to have the judges also giving us their all, and for it to be a fair and even playing field. And it wasn't. The French judge cheated. Let me call it like it is. The French judge gave the Americans the lowest score they got, and the French the highest score they got. And the French even had obvious errors, apparently. Had you heard that?
I did. And so good for them for speaking out, because a lot of people would take, the media coach line. But if you felt like you were cheated at the Olympics, which we all saw, then good for you for speaking out.
Now I got a quick question. I know the music's playing, Daniele. Steven Spielberg donates $25,000 to James Van Der Beek's $2 million GoFundMe account. We talked about him dying and how sad it was yesterday. But what's going on here? Did he not have money left over from all of his success in show business?
It's a combination, because he had cancer for 2 years, 2.5 years. He was diagnosed. So some of the money is going towards the family, because if you think about it, he died. He probably didn't have a massive estate, which means the family has to pay what's ever left of his bills, however they can, which was apparently a lot of money. So not only did all of these celebrities donate, but also one of the colorectal cancer groups also donated $25,000 to them. So it's just a collection of, we got to pay the bills and we got to be able to live and keep these 6 kids alive forever.
Yeah, I hear the treatment did wipe out just about all his savings, which that's sad that someone who probably had a decent amount of money, because he had a pretty good career, lost it all trying to fight cancer.
And you know what? It occurs to me, if you're an actor, you're a contracted player, basically, and you very well may not have he might not have had insurance.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he worked for a company where you would get insurance.
Right. So it's probably mostly out of pocket.
And by the way, I refrained from saying senior moment. I don't like to say that, but I did yesterday, and I couldn't think of our good friend, Dr. Sumit Singla. And it's time to get him back on, because speaking of colorectal cancers, we saw it again in this story. And as you pointed out, when a celebrity goes down to something, it makes other people pay attention, and hopefully more and more people will understand the importance of a colonoscopy. Tough procedure, but it's a life-saving procedure. So when you know about James Van Der Beek and his sad demise, and we also saw that more people, and we had Dr. Sumit Singla on about this before, from Henry Ford Health, more young people than ever are getting these problems. So we need to really be, again, reinforcing going and getting checked. And so would you book Dr. Sumit Singla again for us?
I got it written down. I'm sure we'll be able to give him some time next week.
All right. Excellent. Marie Osborne coming up. We continue in focus on WJR.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned, after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org. The Detroit Economic Club is pleased to welcome Ambassador Rahm Emanuel to their podium Tuesday, February 17th, in a wide-ranging conversation for DEC members and guests. Rahm will share his thoughts on fixing K-12 education, increasing the number of skilled trade workers, Congress, and geopolitics.
For information and tickets, visit econclub.org. In business, we know the best ROI comes from investing in proven talent. For 25 years, the College, Career, and Beyond, a midnight golf program, has been Detroit's premier pipeline for leadership, discipline, and success, boasting a 98% college acceptance rate for more than 3,000 Detroit high school seniors. On April 30th, we celebrate this milestone at the city's newest landmark, Hudson's Detroit. This isn't just a gala. It's a high-level networking summit featuring 450 of Detroit's most influential donors and business leaders, with an appearance by Golf Channel's Rich Lerner. This is a unique opportunity to put your brand in front of a high-net-worth audience of golfers and professionals with innovative tax-deductible advertising opportunities, including naming rights to our new state-of-the-art golf lounge. Whatever your business, auto, finance, real estate, put yourself at the intersection of Detroit's business future and community impact. Visit collegecareerbeyond.org and click sponsorship for details. Secure your legacy today.
Finding excuses to not do your taxes? Well, you can start today and file for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th and you'll pay $0. Start filing for free today. Offer only for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year. Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The American Red Cross is facing a severe blood shortage, and donors are needed right now to make sure life-saving care isn't delayed for accident victims, surgery patients, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and chronic blood disorders. The Red Cross blood supply has dropped about 35% in recent weeks. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation. Take action and help save lives.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
We've only got one accident on the books right now. The Davison eastbound off-ramp to I-75. Your left shoulder is blocked by a wreck there. You can still get through. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
We've got some great weather now as high pressure hangs on. Going to stay dry through the holiday weekend with rain going well south of us. Sunny today, 35. Tonight, mainly clear, 25. The outlying areas of suburbs will be a little bit cooler. Saturday, sunshine, upper 30s. Sunday, partly sunny, close to 40. And on President's Day, Monday, partly sunny near 40. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
In a town built on grit, there's one voice that cuts through the noise. Afternoons, Michigan turns to Ryan Ermani. Fearless, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. It's JR Afternoon 2 till 4 on 760 WJR.
All righty, we continue here on the News Talk 760 WJR. Paul W. Smith on a Friday. It is a national, is it national or international Kiss Day? Danielle, you're kind of in charge of this.
You know, I don't know the answer to that, but I can look it up.
All right, so it's either national or international Kiss Day, which seems to make sense in case we need to practice kissing in advance of Valentine's Day tomorrow. It's also the first of 3, Friday the 13th. So, but I don't think anyone cares anymore. I don't see people avoiding black cats. They'd be frozen anyway, but or not walking under ladders because there aren't that many ladders for you to walk under or avoid. So I'm not sure exactly what it is. Members of Congress are raising sharp concerns today over allegations that the Justice Department tracked what lawmakers searched while reviewing unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files. Could they be that stupid? WJR's Marie Osborne brings us the details. First of all, I need to ask, do you suffer from triskaidekaphobia?
No,
Fear of
not
13?
at all. No, I met my husband on a Friday the 13th, and that's kind of worked out okay.
It's beautiful. John is a good luck charm, and there is another whole school of thought that thinks of Friday the 13th as being a lucky day. So it was for you.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
That's beautiful.
So, talking about these lawmakers, there's this
Uh-huh.
picture. There's this picture that came out this week of Attorney General Pam Bondi holding up a printed sheet that's labeled Jayapal Pramila search history. And Representative Pramila Jayapal confirmed that the list matched the files she viewed on DOJ computers. The Justice Department recently began allowing members to review the full Epstein documents in person. In a letter to lawmakers, the DOJ said it would keep a log of the dates and times of every review, but didn't mention tracking individual search activity. So at the hearing, Democrats and several Republicans criticized the department, accusing it of mishandling sensitive information and overstepping its authority. Jayapal calling the tracking totally inappropriate and against the separation of powers, adding that she intends to pursue this issue. House Speaker Mike Johnson said he agrees the lawmakers should be able to review the files without anybody monitoring what they search. Representative Jamie Raskin called the practice spying. He went so far as to call it that, spying. He said he'll ask the DOJ Inspector General to investigate. And Republican Nancy Mace also described being monitored while reviewing the documents, saying the DOJ staff logged each member into a computer with a unique ID. The Justice Department, Paul, on this so far has remained mum.
What is the point? What are they doing? How can that Justice Department make so many rookie errors, knowing that whatever they do that even can smell a little bit off kilter or wrong, they're going to get slammed for it. And even if it wasn't wrong, they're going to be made to look like it was wrong. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. What concerned me was when they released the Epstein documents. And, we know that there are thousands and thousands of documents here. We get that. But that they failed to redact some names that should have been redacted.
Names and photographs.
Yeah, that was really concerning. Really concerning.
How does that get by you?
Yeah. That's your job. That's your job.
I don't get it. That is your job. Now, they said, well, if we'd stack all those papers, it'd be taller than the Statue of Liberty. Well, whatever. You got a lot of employees. You got AI, which I'm sure they're using, and there'd be a way to go through that and be sure that you redacted names and certainly photographs. It's hard to imagine, frankly. And it's one boneheaded error after another. It's very hard to defend them at times like this. Be that as it may, quick question. Had you heard, I have not heard of one woman who, other than Maxwell, one woman who has been harmed, if you will, by the whole Epstein situation. Wait a minute, that sounded wrong. I know about all the women who were harmed, the victims, survivors. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fallout that has come out from the Epstein files that have been looked at, and yet we have one, and she's a biggie. Catherine Rumeyer from Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
For a relationship she had with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the mind wanders, what relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? But it turns out, for all I can see so far, is that she apparently, foolishly, accepted huge gifts, expensive gifts from Jeffrey Epstein. And they say in that business that you're not supposed to do that. She's counsel at Goldman Sachs. You're not supposed to do anything that looks like somebody might be buying you off. And apparently his gifts were expensive enough to do that. And I'm seeing later in one message, she referred to Epstein as Uncle Jeffrey.
And I thought I read that there were 10,000 messages, or am I Did I read
did
that?
not
I mean, there were
see
thousands.
that.
It wasn't like just a couple of exchanges. There were thousands of exchanges between the two.
Indicating a close relationship, quote, beyond professional boundaries. So
Uncle Jeffrey.
That's just, I don't, other than money, I just don't know what he had and why all of these other rich people. I mean, we're hearing from professors who said they mixed with him because they were hoping he would donate to their research. I mean, we get all kinds of excuses about people who wanted to be with this guy. And maybe that's the way it is with rich guys. But it's bizarre, to say the least, to me, Marie.
I agree completely. And it's just mind-boggling how many people have been snared in this whole Jeffrey Epstein orbit. It's mind-boggling.
It's well put, snared. Big plans for tomorrow, Valentine's Day? I know that the 13th is an important and positive date.
Yeah. Well, we're going to my brother's to eat dinner, which will be lovely. And then I'm going to be making my hubby's his favorite toffee. So don't tell him no, because he doesn't know I'm making it.
Toffee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's so delicious. Maybe Paul needs some too.
I need all food. Anything you make, I need. But the question, I beg the question now. You're going to your brother's. Will he do the cooking? Is he as good a chef as you?
No, my sister. No, heck no. My sister-in-law. No, my sister-in-law is a great cook. She's the one who's going to do the whole deal.
I'm just saying, I'd feel pressure if you were coming over to eat because you're so good.
No. We have my family is blessed with a lot of great cooks, so we don't have any of that. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Have fun.
We will. Have a great Valentine's Day. Love to you and Kim.
Thank you to you and John as we continue in focus on WJR. You know, when it comes to healthcare costs, we often focus on one thing, and who can blame us? We focus on our insurance premiums, but we're only seeing part of the picture. The truth is, our health insurance costs reside downstream at the end of the cost equation. But to really understand what's driving up costs, frankly, we need to look at the upstream flow, the upstream to the healthcare system itself. Upstream, you see, there are those costs like the prices charged by hospitals and doctors and the cost of prescription drugs, healthcare administration, technology. These costs flow downstream directly in to our health insurance premiums. That is why Tricia Keefe, president and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and the entire Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan family and team is advocating for system-wide solutions to address the rising cost of healthcare. Because you see, Tricia and the team knows, Blue Cross knows, that healthcare is personal, that healthcare needs to work for everyone. And in healthcare especially, affordability matters. That's the pin you see me wearing when I'm out and about a lot of times. Affordability matters to all of us. And that starts with shedding light on the entire cost equation, from upstream costs to downstream premiums. If you want to learn more, and I hope you will, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability. That's MI as in Michigan, mibluedaily.com/affordability. And remember this, because this has stuck with me. Healthcare is personal, not political. Healthcare is personal, not political. We continue in focus on WJR.
Let's breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale very slowly. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Dan Bongino returns.
It's real. You better produce something fast.
And he's not holding back.
Dan, that's backwards. No, I'm telling you the truth.
Hard truths and a bold perspective no one else can offer.
May not hear this anywhere else. I'm always under the assumption that you're being played, we're being played. Man, this show continues to expand its footprint, and I love you guys for it.
It's the comeback everyone's been waiting for.
If there was ever a time, it is this one.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Focus, noon to 2 p.m. with Paul W. Smith.
I truly have heart for Detroit. I've been on the air in Detroit for all of our ups and downs.
Paul is smart, fast, and always ahead of the curve.
And I love that we never stay down. Ever.
Focus, noon till 2 on 760 WJR. Thanks for listening to WJR and Focus. Here's Paul W. Smith.
We are locked in on Relentless Positive Radio. That's what we do here, and proudly so. But sometimes there's some negative stories out there, and we need to alert you to them as well. And these stories bother me a lot. Anything having to do with the abuse of children or the elderly especially upset me, and I never think the punishment fits the crime the way it should. There is an increasing amount of seniors who are becoming targets of online dating scams. Unbelievable. Happily, Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido is here to tell us what to look out for and be careful of. Prosecutor Lucido, it's always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for being here.
Paul, good afternoon, and good afternoon, listeners. Great to hear from you, and thanks for having me on so we can make sure this Valentine's Day becomes more of meaningfulness and not something that individuals, especially our seniors, our vulnerables, get scammed on.
Can you sum up, Pete, some of the scams that might ring a bell for people, or for people to be sure to call their parents or their grandparents and say, hey, wait a minute, this is what's going around. Has any of this happened to you? Look out for this. Are there any that you can mention?
Sure. Number one, most of the people today, they don't date like we used to date years ago, where somebody introduces you, you show up at a restaurant or a coffee shop. Today, they do it on a social media way, do it on dating apps. And these dating apps have caused a lot of heartache and hardship. You know, people, especially the seniors, let's go that route. They're isolated, they're lonely, they want companionship, they're widow or widowers. So they're sitting around. And what happens is they go on the internet, like all of us, and they find themselves on a dating app or a companionship app, they call it, because they would like to have some stimulation from other people. And people get on there and they have fake profiles. They have hardship stories, like they would really like to come and see them and get to know them and meet them, but they just don't have, the money. And can you Venmo me some money so I can go ahead? Or I have to have a surgery first because of my health, and I don't have all the money for the surgery, and my insurance doesn't pick it all up, and the surgery is X amount of dollars. Paul, in 2020, and that wasn't that long ago, there was about $600 million that people bilked other people out of. In 2024, 4 years later, it was 4 times that amount, 2.4 billion with a B. So we have to look at this thing and say this is a growing concern, because seniors, especially seniors and vulnerables, in their golden years, I want to see them keep their gold. So what can we do about it? Somebody talking to you online, you have to be guarded. That you haven't met them, you don't know anything about them, you don't know their personal background. So don't talk about your money. Don't talk about your property. Don't talk about a kind of house you live in. Do not engage about anything that is going to lend itself to having them learn more about you, about your finances, or about your social situation. I know people want to meet people online, and we always tell them, if you're going to meet, tell somebody where you're going to meet, what time you're going to meet, because I'm concerned about people taking advantage of people once they get to meet them. And we have situations right now where people give these hard luck stories and they get bilked out of money, and they're sending money via wire transfer, or, like I said, Venmo, those type of apps where they don't know why they're actually, because there's no receipt, there's no way of tracing it back. If it's a fake profile and or a fake IP address, which is the email address where it's going to. People don't always report these, Pauls, because they're embarrassed.
They're embarrassed.
They're ashamed. Yeah, they don't want to call the cops and said, geez, somebody just took me for $10,000 and they're not calling me back. One guy said in a recent case, when the police came in with the warrant, the woman sent $10,000 for the person to come to, this country and meet her. And that was the end of it. She never heard anything after the $10,000 arrived in the bank account. But these things can be stopped. And when you say talk to people, children, pay attention what your parents are doing. Grandchildren, pay attention what grandma and grandpa and or mom and dad are doing.
Yeah.
And by all means, if you have the discussion, it's going to be, you've got to caution yourself what information you're giving. People talk on social media, on Facebook and the internet, as if they're talking to their best friend. Yeah. Believe me, there's people disguised as criminals, and we want to avoid any of that because of the fake profile and the unknownness. Don't give it up. Don't give it up.
So listen, we're bringing this up because it's Valentine's Day, but Pete Lucido, Macomb County prosecutor, is pointing out that seniors are becoming targets on online dating scams, and he is having senior scams presentations throughout Macomb County. They're free. They include booklets and discussions on the various scams that the Macomb County seniors have to worry about. And to get that information, call Heather Esposito at 586-469-5642, 586-469-5642, or via email at heather.esposito@macombgov.org, heather.esposito@macombgov.org. And one of the best ways to remember all of this, and we got it just now from Pete Lucido, we want you to, in your golden years, keep your gold.
You got it, Paul.
That's what Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido is doing. God bless you, and thank you for looking out for the seniors. I hope you catch a bunch of bad people doing bad things.
And I hope we do, too, so that we get them off the streets and they're not going to harm anybody else.
Well put, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Pete.
You too, Paul. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it, and I hope it warms up so we both have a lot of warmth coming our way.
We need warmth. We need hugging. It happens to be Kiss Day, and we've got some Kiss facts that we want to get on the air before we leave. But thank you, Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido, here in Focus with Paul W. Smith. Thank you. Take care on WJR at 144. Well, it is Valentine's month. Actually, people celebrate for the whole month. If you want to love your life again and wake up pain-free, well, trust me, Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute is the guy to call. He and his team. You want to ask about his non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis treatment for severe and chronic back and neck pain. You could join his thousands of patients like, well, Kim and me and Bob, a retired police officer who had a bulging disc, couldn't walk, and now has no pain, even when he's on his feet 7 hours straight working security at Comerica Park. Or Christina, who had 7 bulging discs, but is now pain-free. You see, intradisc neutrosis helps people with sciatica, spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, and degenerative disc disease avoid spine surgery. And Dr. Kogan's Knee Restore RX treatment helps people with osteoarthritis, meniscus tears, and muscle strains avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. And listen to this. The first 50 callers mentioning this great radio station, WJR, in February will get 50% off their treatment plan. Mention WJR in February, get 50% off your treatment plan. It's the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-DISC, or 586-416-3472. 586-416-3472. I'm always bragging about my team. The team. Well, let me tell you something. I know this from my own experience. Dr. Kogan's team at the Nerve and Disc Institute are fabulous. You're going to love his team in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. 586-416-3472. It's 146 at WJR.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Western One Sports presents their special update on the 2026 Winter Games. His name is Johannes Hosflat Klæbo. He's a Norwegian cross-country skier, and all he's done over the last 2 Winter Games is win 8 gold medals, the 8th coming today in the 10,000-meter free. 1 more in Italy. He'll have 1 more gold than anyone ever, 3 more next week, and he'll have 6 in these games, breaking the record of 5 shared by Klæbo from 4 years ago and the great U.S. speed skater Eric Heiden in 1980. Wouldn't be a Winter Games without a figure skating judging controversy. The biggest was back in 2002 in Salt Lake. That was a French judge. So is this, accused of rigging the ice dance to give the French team the gold medal. She had them nearly 8 points, better than the U.S. duo of Chuck and Bates, who settled for silver. International Skating Union standing by the judge's decision. Yes, our Western One Sports.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Kohl's gets it. Valentine's Day comes with expectations, grand expectations, telepathic expectations, and heart-shaped everything expectations. Yes, even waffles. Kohl's has gifts that rise to the occasion, from romantic to playful, sparkly to sweet, or all of the above. Plus, get 15% off some of your finds. So go ahead, exceed those Valentine's Day expectations with Kohl's. Select styles, offer ends February 16th. Some exclusions apply.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Well, it's wintertime out there, and this is the time of year we get some very specific emails at theinsideoutsideguys.com. Like, why can't I keep my home warm?
Or why are my windows full of condensation? Ken and I have answers to all of those things, and most of them are found in the experts that we refer to people.
We'll give you advice, but if the advice doesn't help, we have great professionals at the Inside Outside Guys. No matter what time of year it is, for housing information you can trust, go to theinsideoutsideguys.com.
Sponsored by Calculus Foundation Repair and Waterproofing.
It's Rich Piccarelli, owner of Calculus Foundation Repair and Waterproofing. With over 30 years of experience in fixing foundations across Metro Detroit, I know what it takes to keep your home solid and dry. We are local, affordable, and professional, fully licensed and insured. Whether it's helical pier installation, interior or exterior waterproofing, crawl space repair, wall bracing, or crack injections, Calculus has the right solution for you. For all your foundation issues, schedule today at calculusfoundation.com. That's calculusfoundation.com. A strong foundation starts with Calculus.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. 100% bonus depreciation is back. Qualifying assets placed in service after January 19th, 2025 can now be fully expensed in the first year. This means immediate tax savings for businesses. Consult with your CPA to see if 100% bonus depreciation is the best strategy for you. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at schindelrock.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
2 accidents on the book right now, one blocking your right shoulder on I-75 northbound after Fort Street. We have another one on 75 northbound after Grand River. That's also blocking your right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
We are going dry here over the next several days, right through the holiday weekend, if it is a holiday for you. Low pressure is going to pass well south. Well, should keep precip well south. I was looking afternoon for the commute. Sunshine, 35. Tonight, 25 clear. Suburbs colder. Saturday, sunshine, 38. 41. On Sunday, partly sunny, and near 40 again on President's Day, Monday, and partly sunny. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
And now, WJR is proud to present Rieger Reviews It.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Featuring film critic Dave Rieger.
Suddenly, Dave has a great job.
Sponsored by Wiggly's.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Beat the Michigan chill this February. Visit the Royal Diner on Dixie Highway in Clarkston, serving up the best corned beef omelets, homemade corned beef hash, or a mouth-watering Reuben delight. Royal Diner in Clarkston, proudly serving Wiggly's corned beef for 30 years, and Rieger Reviews It is proudly sponsored by Wiggly's famous Eastern Market corned beef. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Kiss Day. Don't get any ideas. Dave Rieger.
Paul W., how are you?
I am excellent. Thank you. Did you know it was Kiss Day?
I did. I've been listening to Danielle all morning give the rundown of everything.
Okay. Well, we'd like you to also listen to our show, but you get it and get your information any way you can.
By listening to Danielle, I was listening also to the show.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just throwing you a curveball. Did you know, for some reason or another, most of us lean right when we're kissing?
Did not know that.
I didn't know it. No one can come up with a real reason.
That is so Dave.
Leaning to right when he kisses you?
Yeah.
Okay. It happens because when we go to kiss, in my case, a woman, in my case, my wife, she might lean, I don't know, she leans to her predominant side, her right hand. I'm left-handed. So I don't know. As long as we're kissing, that's what matters. Lots of people like being kissed on the neck. I go, oh, it's ticklish. I'm just telling you too much information. They even say, according to a popular German study from the 1980s, men who kiss their wives in the morning live longer, have fewer car accidents, and have higher salaries than men who don't kiss their wives before heading out to work.
Really?
I rest my case.
Okay.
Talk to me about Crime 101 in theaters.
Crime 101, set in Los Angeles. Chris Helmsworth, he plays Mike Davis. He's a meticulous and elusive jewel thief, known for his heists along the iconic 101 freeway. But he follows a strict set of rules, his personal crime 101, if you will, which includes avoiding violence and maintaining bloodless, professional approach to his jewel heists.
Let's listen. Let's listen to Crime 101 in theaters now.
I'm real good at reading people.
And what have you read about me?
Okay. You look like a person who has secrets. You got the cars, the clothes, but you can't seem to look me in the eye.
Start by handing me your phone.
You're looking at robberies of jewels, money, or high-value items in the last 4 years. Now, remove every robbery where there was DNA left at the scene. I think all of these are the same guy. And he hits every time along the 101 freeway.
What makes this job different?
There comes a moment when you realize you don't have as much time as you thought you had.
What do you think?
Helps if I turn on my mic. I felt that this movie could have been better than it was as far as action. I felt it was kind of slow. It was a lot of dialogue. I would have liked to see more car chases.
All right.
More. So I'm going to give it 2 Wigglies.
I was just going to say I was feeling 2 Wigglies from what you were saying. Let's listen to the legend of the American Basketball Association on Prime, Soul Power.
They call it the ABA, the American Basketball Association.
There was something fresh in the ABA.
We get ready to show y'all, man, what y'all was missing.
We owe a great deal to the ABA. Pro basketball's most exciting new idea.
It was way ahead of its time.
Changed the history of the league. The NBA, they weren't ready for us, man.
Shoot, we about to put on a show.
The ABA emphasized innovation.
It was all about doing things the NBA wasn't going to do.
The most important contribution is the three-pointer.
Without the three-point shot.
Rick Barry, let's fly with a three-point bomb. Bang!
There's no.
Well, there it is. I don't know, Soul Power. It's not holding my attention at all. What do you say?
Oh, this was great. I mean, listen, for someone who was young when the ABA was around, the NBA adopted a lot of the things from the ABA. Very cool with the NBA All-Star Weekend happening. I give this one 3.5 Wigglies.
Wow.
I think that it's a 4-part docuseries, and I think people who are fans of the NBA will love it because the three-pointer and the slam dunk came from the ABA.
All right. How exciting. All right. Thank you, Dave Rieger. Rieger reviews it. Thanks to the team, and putting us at number 5 in the country for our show. That's Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski, Dave Rieger, Marie Osborne, and my Kim Smith, and countless others behind the scenes. Please enjoy Valentine's Day and stand by for news and enjoy JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermani in the top 21 in the nation. And he hasn't even been doing his show very long. Have a great one. Happy Valentine's Day. Regards, Paul W. Smith.